It's hate week. The Red Helmets are back. Both teams got some issues they're dealing with on the offensive line, but we can't wait to talk about it. So let's get into it. And welcome in, folks. It is episode 185 out of your Falcon Mile and a Falcons fan cast. My name is John, your host, joined by our good friend and basically co-host of the show, Mr. Fleek. Ronnie, what's going on, man?
What's up, my guy? How are you, bro? I'm feeling good. Ready for
Good.
this hate weekend. It's about to
Oh
be
man,
crazy. Well, two ways for us. So,
exactly. Yeah, and
yeah,
it's like it's not even a hate on the college side. It's like we just don't want to hear it type of thing if
yeah,
we lose. You know what I
yeah,
mean? This is more of a
yep,
it's more of just a self-preservation type of thing.
yep.
But yeah, man. So I guess we're just going to keep doing this show at different varying times during the week. We've done it like noon, 3 p.m., 4 p.m. But y'all know Mike is in Nebraska working, and he was his flight was delayed, so he couldn't make the recap show. Then his first day working out there got a flat tire, so that put him behind. So now he's like been working like just nonstop every day. So he couldn't make this. Basically, he's out the entire week, but he will be back for hopefully the recap show on Sunday, and then obviously previewing the Bucks game on Wednesday. So he'll be back in town. But Fleet, man, I appreciate you coming on and joining me, man. And we may have another guest or two come through, but just had to push it off this week. And I don't know if y'all can hear it now, but hopefully everybody's good from the storm last night that came through. I know like Fleek and I, we live pretty close together. So like we were good. I mean, we live just, in Cobb County. So like the storm kind of turned east, late or like early this morning, which, kind of took it off the track it was going. So we didn't really get the brunt of it. Got a lot of rain. I know there's some flooding in some parts of the area, but like I haven't seen, around immediately where we are, I haven't seen too much stuff. So hopefully wherever y'all are at, y'all are good and had no issues. And same thing if you're listening to us as well. But man, I've got a dude, you may hear him start up. I don't even know what's happening, but my neighbor has his lawn maintenance dude out here, and he's blowing. I shit you not, he's blowing leaves, man. He got the leaf blower out, and it's 20-mile-an-hour wind still going on. I just came home from. I came home from getting some coffee, man. I'm like, there's no way this guy's blowing leaves right now. He's blowing leaves, and it's coming right back at his face. And he gets to one side of the yard, and the shit's already filled up on the other side of the yard. I'm like, brother, this is. You just got to call it a day for this. Like, you can mow the grass, but maybe just come. Like, this is not working.
There's no way. There's
Dude,
no way.
we first got. I mean, as soon as we got on, I asked Fleek, I'm like, man, how bad? Can you hear this? He's like, oh yeah, I can hear it. I'm like, God, man, you gotta be kidding me. Like,
That's crazy.
he's still
Nah,
going on. Yeah,
he's still right now.
yeah, I can still hear it. Yeah.
Oh well, see, well, good thing we can't. I can't hear it,
Well,
so
that's a
that's a
plus.
good
Yeah,
thing.
that's a plus.
But that's crazy. I can't believe he's out there doing that
I
right
mean, hey,
now. That's ridiculous.
good for you, man. You're fighting a good fight, but the leaves are definitely winning right now with the wind the way that it is. So I don't understand it. I don't, I don't get
Yeah,
it.
yep,
Um,
that's a battle.
Yeah, man. But anyway, thank y'all, like I said, for coming by. Kind of a weird time on a Friday. Y'all probably either you're still at work or took the day off. And Fleek and I both work from home today, kind of planning on the storm. Kind of, we didn't know what it was going to do, so we just, we'll just work from home today, and hopefully it'll be all right. But that's kind of why the reason that we're recording right now. So, but
Yep.
if y'all catch us on the replay, awesome too. Just hit the like button for us so we can get out there to more Falcons fans. If you're here, subscribe. And keep that number going up as well. If you're listening to us back on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcast, drop us a 5-star review if you can, and we will gladly shout you out on the show. And of course, you can email us atlfalconfancast@gmail.com, and we'll definitely read those on the air too if you have anything you want to read or anything you want to share. And we'll have merch as well, and I'll get the merch going on along the bottom of the screen here pretty soon. But yeah, man. So obviously we talk a decent amount anyway, but you pretty much over the KC game. I mean that you moved on.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Like it was a good game.
Mm-hmm. I think your mic's a little weird. Yeah, your mic's messed up, buddy. Can't hear you at all. So Yeah, I'm going to. Mike's all messed up. Okay, can you hear me now? Say something. No, I can hear you at all.
Wait.
Oh, there we
Okay,
go.
my bad.
There we go.
Can you hear me now? Okay, my fault.
All good.
So the KC game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, I think it was a good game. I think we were able to show that we can play with good teams. The time of possession, I did not like the time of possession battle. KC were stringing together long drives, keeping the Falcons'
Yeah.
offense off the field, took away some opportunities that we would have had. So I wish we were better on that end, but I felt like the defense stood up when it needed to. Once again, kind of similar to week one, I would say. The offense just didn't make enough plays when they needed to. The chances were there. This is definitely a game that the Falcons could have won. So that actually gives me hope going forward. So I'm over it. I honestly didn't expect to win, but I'm glad we played the way we did and showed, especially on national TV against the Chiefs, that like we belong there. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? After not having nationally televised games for
Oh
like
no.
years, like yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
it
mean to
was
be
nice.
Yeah, I mean to beat Philly and to come back and play that way against KC. And look, I mean, we all thought that we were probably going to beat Pittsburgh. I know we're only 3 games in, but Pittsburgh's pretty legit. Like that defense, they're number one as far. They've allowed like an average of 8.9 points per game. They're averaging
Yeah,
around giving up 229 yards a game. So I mean, like they're legit defense. I mean, and so
yeah,
you combo that with, our offense just kind of getting it together with the very first game, So it's like, I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
we were still in that game too. So yeah,
Yeah,
I don't feel as bad about that loss as I initially did. Because at first I was like, damn, man, really Pittsburgh with Justin Fields and Arthur freaking Smith. And it's like, did we
I
really have to do that?
know.
But I feel a little bit better about it now. Like I said, just seeing that, I know it's 3 games, anything can happen, but so far they seem pretty legit. So we'll see how
Yeah,
long they can keep it up, man. We'll see how long they can do it.
yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, man. So real briefly, if y'all haven't seen Biscuits pick this week, Mike did do Biscuits pick before he left, and so he's already picked this game. So you'll just have to go watch it. It's hilarious. I don't know how he gets him to, like, if I try to get my dog to do the stuff he does, like just sit there while he records and talks to him like he's interviewing him, like there's just not a possible way. Like I don't know if he has a treat in his hand, but like Biscuit just sits there and like just deals with it the entire time. It's hilarious. But make sure y'all check that out. It's posted on our socials, which is Out of Your Falcon Mind on TikTok, Instagram, and of course on YouTube. I think he put it on YouTube. And then I did a little thing. I didn't do the Falcons all 22 review this week, but I did. I basically looked at the Eagles Saints game from last week because and getting into this game this week, right? So if y'all didn't see the Saints' first couple of games, I mean, they were ridiculous. They beat the Panthers 47-10, which again, the Panthers with Bryce Young apparently is not very good at all, and without him, who knows? I mean, who knows? That first game,
Yeah.
Andy Dalton was like, I mean,
Crazy.
yeah, I mean, we'll see. They got the Bengals this week. We'll see if Andy Dalton has a revenge game against his
Hey,
old
what's
boys.
up with the Bengals, by the way? Well, okay,
Oh and
whatever.
3, man. 0-3. They might be
Wow.
0-4 if Andy Dalton goes in there and
Right? Imagine that.
imagine that. But every year though, they're always 0-2 every year.
I know they start off so slow,
Every
but
year.
0-3. If they go 0-4,
That's gonna be tough. And that division too, with Baltimore
I
playing
was
the way they
about to
are,
say.
and Pittsburgh. I mean, Cleveland is Cleveland. I don't know what's going on with
Yeah,
Deshaun Watson, but whatever. Um,
that man fell off the face of the earth.
it's a, thank God that didn't work out. That's a whole other conversation. But thank
Oh
God that
my!
didn't work out. Oh man.
Oh, in the
So
alternate universe. Oh my god.
right. Oh Jesus. But anyway, I like I said, I jumped into that film because the Eagles were the first team to really stop the Saints all year long. Of the first 3 games. I mean, they pounded the Cowboys, and the Cowboys struggled last night. They won 2015, but it's like, what are the Cowboys really? We don't really know. So it's just we don't really. It's still kind of early. The teams are still trying to
Yeah.
figure out who they are. But you can't deny that. I mean, they were Clint Kubiak coming to the Saints, bringing that Shanahan style offense to them, which is a perfect fit when you have a guy like Kamara. I mean, like he can
Yep.
do so many things out of the backfield. He looked like vintage Kamara that second game, especially against the Cowboys. I think he had 3 rushing and maybe 1 receiving touchdown. I think he had 4 touchdowns total.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he had
Um,
4.
yeah,
Yeah,
he went
4 or
off. I
5.
mean, like,
Something crazy.
yeah, actually, he had 20 carries, 115 yards, averaging almost 6 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns. Um, Carr barely had to throw the ball. He threw the ball 16 times during that game because they just didn't.
I know, and
They were
his yardage looked crazy.
yeah. I mean, 243 yards, 16 times.
Yeah,
He threw it. 11 completions.
11 completions.
That's
I remember
ridiculous.
looking at that. I was like, 11 of 16 for 243 or whatever. I'm
It's
like,
so stupid.
what?
And that's the thing.
That's
Like
that Rashid Shaheed effect.
exactly. And and up until Philly, they've been really good against the run. But I mean, a lot of the reason because the teams had to abandon the run so early in the game. They were down. I mean, they scored like on their first 15 possessions of the season. So it's like when you're constantly, I mean, they were down, so they had to start throwing, so it's like they didn't have a chance to run it because I think the Cowboys, they had a 68 total rushing yards.
It was not.
I mean, no, it was terrible, and Prescott threw it 39 times for 293 yards. He got, sacked 3 times, 2 picks. So they were, definitely not their day for sure. And the receivers and Clores, I mean, Olave and Shaheed are really the two that, worry you, which are the 2 main ones. They both went off. They only had 4 receptions, but they were all explosive plays. The 20+ yards. So that's stuff that you have to hope that we can eliminate. But anyway, getting back to the Eagles game, so that was the first team that really kind of slowed them down. So I want to see what they did because the week before, they played us, and we pretty much had our way with them as far as like Bijan had a great day, Tyler had a good day, the run game in general looked good. So I go back and look at it, and the Eagles are using a lot of 5 and 6 man fronts, like around the line. They're like, you know what? We're not going to get this freaking because we're going to put these light boxes anymore. We're going to stack it up with some heavier guys. They moved, and if y'all seen the video already, some of this may be repetitive, but sorry. If you haven't, still go watch the video because I pulled about 12 different plays from the Eagles defense and just kind of showed you what they did and how, and kind of related it to like number one. Do we even have the personnel to do that? What they did, and if we do, like, how that might fit, basically. And but I mean, the way they use Zach Bond, he was kind of all over the place, which is how I think we could use Troy Anderson. I think that would make sense. But either way, they would not allow Kamara to get going. Like he had 1 run for 16 yards. That was that. And then they forced Carr to beat him, and they put pressure on him. That line was winning. Jalen Carter was winning all night long. Or all day long. He wrecked that game. Like he just, I mean, especially later on when their line went down. We'll get to the injuries in a second too. But go check that video out. It's pretty cool. And I do think, even though we don't have a Jalen Carter per se, we've got some depth on that defensive line. So it's about time for those guys to, really show it this week because they're fighting. Both teams have some offensive line injuries that, like I said, we'll get to the injury report in a second. Real quick on the chat. What's up, Liam?
What's up, bro?
Prince Kell, what's going on, man? Good to see you, dude.
What's going on, Prince?
Hopefully. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Hopeful?
Miss Pam, what's going on? She said, hello, fellas, and everyone in the chat. Happy Friday. Yes, happy Friday. Cass, what's up, man? Rise up, dude.
Rise up.
Yep, hopefully it is definitely throwback uniforms week. And Dr. Slick Nux, what's up, man? He said, did they talk about Olave injury? I don't know. Have you seen that Olave injury, buddy? Because I pulled up I do have the injury report. I don't know if it's updated, but I didn't see Olave on it.
Huh. Olave, that would be news to me. I know Kamara was on it the other day, but I don't know what the update is there.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, we'll just talk about injury. So basically, if y'all haven't heard, Demario Davis is out. He's gonna miss his first game due to injury. His 13-year career, which is insane. Like that does not happen. Like does not happen at all. So, but that's huge. Like he's he is everything in that defense. He calls the defense. He, just gets everybody in the right spot. So that's a big miss. Yeah, for sure. And then offense, like I said, their offensive line, they lost their center, Eric McCoy, last week, which is definitely their best receiver. I mean, their best offensive lineman for sure. Like, and so he's done. They were talking about moving Lucas Patrick. I don't know if that's been decided yet, but Lucas Patrick is a guard. They're moving him to center. Cesar Ruiz is also out, who was their left guard, I believe. And then, so it's like, they're fighting it. We're missing Dahlman. They just ruled out McGarry. So, I feel pretty good with Ryan Newsel. I feel pretty all right with that. Storm Norton, a lot of folks are just no problem whatsoever with it. And I'm like, I like Storm, but he's not the same guy as Caleb McGarry in the running game at all. He can probably pass protect. I don't know. Like when I did the film review last year, like it was clear on film that Storm is definitely not up to Caleb's level when it comes to run blocking. It's just not there. Pass pro, you're probably, I mean, neither one of them are great with speed guys. It just kind of is what it is. But I mean, like, it's probably hit or miss. Like either you can take it or leave it either way, pass pro. But definitely in the run game, it's going to be where he'll be missed unless Storm just comes out of nowhere and has a hell of a game. But that's hang on. Dr. Slipknot said Schefter just reported it hamstring. No shit. I'll have to check that out then. That'd be
Oh man,
huge too. My God, if
that
he's
would be
down, I mean,
crazy.
look,
That would be crazy.
they're missing all those guys, and no, I don't even want to.
Yeah, there's no way.
No, man. Dre said Atlanta
No
by
way.
13. I'm down, man.
Yeah,
Jamal,
for
what's up,
real.
buddy?
What up, Jamal?
Thank y'all for coming by at a weird 4:00 time. They said very
Not
good. Hey, appreciate you, man. I appreciate that, man. That's right. Anyway, Fleek. So what's your take on some of these injuries, man? What do you?
I mean, it's insane. I mean, the Mario Davis injury is huge because like he's the heart and soul of the defense, the middle. Like you said, he calls everything. He's been the green dot for years.
Mhm.
First game missed in his whole career due to injury. That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah,
So he's apparently an Iron Man as well. But yeah, no, him being gone may open up the middle of that defense a little bit. I don't know. I like that. Demario Davis is definitely one of the players on the Saints that I don't like going against.
No.
every time we play them, he's definitely
major respect for that guy. Like he's just really good at what he does.
Yeah, so, he just is, bro. He just is.
Yeah.
And now if the Olave injury is true, man, that's just that's huge because Shaheed, Olave, and who was their third guy? I don't know.
Cedric Wilson Jr. And I'm just looking. Kevin Knight from Falcoholic just said Saints could be in big trouble wide receiver with A.T. Perry already ruled out, and Chris Olave and Cedric Wilson Jr. both questionable.
Wow.
And Alvin Kamara still listed as questionable.
Hey, listen. If the Saints just want to take a bye week or rest week, hey, do what y'all got to do.
I mean, it's a long season, guys. Y'all need to rest your people. I mean, just take care of your guys.
You know what I mean? Take care of your guys. Because this is a marathon, right?
Marathon.
You know what I'm saying?
Safety, health, that's what we're all about here on Out of Your Fucking Mind. So make sure you just take care of yourselves. Yeah. I mean,
make the best decision for your organization.
I don't give a damn if we win and they got freaking like backups in there. I don't care. We need this win. Period. It's NFL, man.
Let me say this too. Like I've been thinking about this all week. The beginning of the schedule we knew was tough, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I didn't, put into consideration that we had 3 of our first 4 games at home.
Yeah.
And we're already 0-2 at home. And that is that's already nasty. That doesn't sit right with me. But, the Steelers lost week 1, we understand. And then KC, I mean, I cannot blame you for your effort against Kansas City. But you can't start off 0-3 at home. And then the Saints, it's throwback week. All this stuff matters to me, John. All this stuff makes it what it is.
Hey, and since we brought the red helmet back, we are 10-3, by the way.
Come on now. First of all, there's no way that's not the uniform next year, but that's a whole nother story. But I think it's all lining up, John. All these injuries that are just popping up randomly, I don't know if they'll go through or if these players end up playing cool, whatever. We still should beat them. But, I mean, it's lining up, John. We got to take care of business at home, bro.
Yeah, man, I totally agree. And I just looked at Catherine Terrell, who she's a ESPN reporter for the Saints, said Olave is questionable to play. He hurt his hamstring sometime in practice today. So it just happened today. Yeah. And then as of 9 minutes ago, she also reported that Kamara is questionable with a hip ribs issue, and Demario Davis and Cesar Ruiz are both out. So, yeah. And then Cedric Wilson has an ankle. So, but all around the league, though, not just us or them, like crazy injuries everywhere.
That's true. Why do you think that is? What is up? What's up with that?
I've seen multiple arguments, man. I've seen a lot of it's the lack of playing time in the preseason because they're just going through the motions, and then all of a sudden, it's game, and it's like it's just totally different. You know how it is. It's like you can try to simulate the game as much as you want. When you're going against your own guys, it's not going to be the same. It's a whole other level, man. So it's just I don't know, man. I maybe it's part of that. I mean, because you can. Some guys have naturally, they may have tighter hamstrings than other guys. It's like like how well they take care of it. Like if it's a rash of injuries, you kind of wonder, like, what is their freaking PT staff and their,
Right. Yeah.
what's their training staff like? Because like, what are they doing? Like,
Right.
because I mean, it's
Right. What's going on?
yeah, but I don't know, man. It's because you hate to see like, especially like San Francisco, like not that I
Oh,
want them to do well, but you hate to see all the
yeah.
stars go down. That's the reason you watch the
Yeah.
games, man. It's like you want to
Yeah.
see some of these guys play. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, we have to mention too. It's Arthur Blank's birthday, so happy
Oh,
birthday, Mr. Arthur Blank.
happy birthday, Mr. Arthur Blaine.
Because he watches the
Awesome
show. I'm
guy.
sure he does. I mean,
Oh, he's watching it right now. He catches it live. So,
yeah.
yeah.
He's just probably
Happy
he's probably in the chat as like, I don't know. Dr. Slicknuts might be Arthur Blank. That could be
He
his.
might be. You know what? That makes sense. That's how he got the injury plug so fast.
Yeah, exactly. You just knew it. Yeah.
And then he had to cover himself by saying Schefter reported it. You had it first. Okay.
Exactly.
I get it.
That's what I'm thinking. Christy, what's going on? She said, yeah, it is Falcons Friday. I love it. Dre said, hell, Zach hasn't been running behind him anyway, talking about McGarry. It wasn't even just outside stretch frustrated me last week. It's trying to make the left the strong side and not setting up traps off of it. Man, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's that about, bro?
I mean, I was even thinking about this, even with the defense. It's like, and you heard, and a lot of coaches say it, we want to be multiple, we want to do different things, but at some point you got to do what you're really good at, though. Because you got to play to whether it's a player, whether it's a scheme, whatever. Like play toward it. Like last year, Arthur knew the right sides of where the money was.
Yeah, and he pounded the right side. That's when the Falcons' run game is most effective.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I get you want to be, you don't want to be so predictable, but yeah, I mean the stretch, and that's that's a lot of what New Orleans does as well. Like I said, these offenses are very similar. I mean the Shanahan McVay thing, they're very, intertwined kind of. So you're going to see a lot of similar stuff. Like watching that game against the Eagles, I think it was. I forgot what percentage. It's a large percentage of motion, pre-snap motion, right before. It's a ton of that stuff. And we do too. But you look at a ton of that, and what their defensive line did too. Dude, they were doing a lot of pre-snap motion. They were shifting down the line. They were running stunts. They were doing all. Like I said, they didn't know, like with Bond, like it was mainly him too. It wasn't really like Nakobe kind of pretty much played traditionally the linebacker position, right? But Bond he'd come up on the line. He would sometimes back off, whatever. But he was kind of the guy that was everywhere. And it's like, if they do something like that, then. But, I even said in the video at the same time, Clint Kubiak's going to see that as well. I mean, you know what? What are we going to do to counter that? So it's just like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So
it's a game of chess.
Yeah, and so it's going to be interesting to see, like, how they both coordinators, I guess, kind of, go against that. But they're going to have. And we talked about this prior to the show too, and you said it. It's going to be interesting to see how much of the game plan this affects. Like for both teams with these injuries, about what they want to do. Because like I said, with Carter just winning as much as he did last week, and Jordan Davis as well, like, dude, our guys, they gotta win this week. Because how many times have we sat back and said, man, this injuries this week, or this is a young offensive line, they gotta take advantage. And nobody takes advantage. It's just, it's the same. Never happens. It never happens. We never come in on a Monday or Tuesday and be like, man, we got after those guys. We got sacks. He had no time to throw. It's never the case. So, like,
we have 3 sacks total in 3 games.
Yeah, and 2 of them from Jadon and 1 from Grady, I believe. And it's like, I think the Saints have 11, I believe, so far. Brian Breesy, I think, had 2 in the last game.
Yeah, we got to get something cooking up front, man. We're looking like we're trending to be the worst in the league again.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's like I understand the argument to where you look at the quarterbacks he played the first 3 games. They're all guys that can get outside the pocket. So yeah, you're going to rush that differently. Totally get it. David Carr is not that, or Derek Carr is not that guy. So
we got to fire off.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to get him outside the pocket, feel free. I mean, you should be able to catch him and bring him down. But like, you got to get pressure on them because that was a consistent thing that showed up too, even with their struggles against Philly. If you give him a pocket, like with a long completion to Olave, they rushed 4 guys, they didn't get to him. Great pocket. Olave found a little hole zone, boom, 35-yard game, whatever it was. So like that's going to happen too. So it's like, and not that you can pressure him every single play because that's not realistic, but you're going to have to at least get him uncomfortable, and hit him and get him off his spot, because I have a lot more confidence in our back end than the Eagles. I mean, the Eagles have good players, but I mean, I will
Yeah.
take our guys any day of the week. AJ and the way
Yeah.
Mike Hughes is playing, which by the way, we
Yeah.
haven't talked about it. I've already said my apologies to Mike Hughes. What about you?
Yeah, no, I apologize to Mike Hughes, and I want to say something. I listen to a lot of talk radio, right?
Mhm.
And I've been hearing a lot of people saying Mike Hughes was getting abused. And I
What?
think they're mistaken. I think they're thinking about my guy. D. Alford had a tough game last
Yeah.
week, right? I stood on 10 toes for D. Alford. That's my
Mhm.
guy. But he's had a couple of rough showings in the slot, and I think people are thinking that Mike Hughes is playing slot. I don't know if a lot of people know who Mike Hughes is, his face, his number. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is, but I think they're getting confused because Mike Hughes almost had like the first big play of the game last week. He almost intercepted a deep post in the
Yeah.
end zone to Xavier Worthy,
That's
and
right.
not many guys are keeping up or keeping pace with Xavier Worthy. So
No.
like Mike Hughes he's playing a lot better than I thought he would. When I thought about cornerback 2, and I said Mike Hughes, I
We
don't
all
know.
did, man. We all
Yeah,
did.
I don't know. But right now, if he can stay consistent, and he can play this way throughout the rest of the season, then cornerback 2 is not really even a problem.
No.
And that's the thing too. When you did your all 22, like you said, you 5 and 6 man front, you have to be comfortable with your back end to do stuff like that. To send pressure like that, to send extra guys at Carr, we have to be comfortable with AJ and Mike Hughes and Justin Simmons and Bates, which we are, because they're all playing at a very high level right now
Yep.
together. So shout out Justin Simmons first of all, by the way.
Man.
Like that, my goodness, man, what a signing! Like he is playing at an all pro level right now, bro. Like it's crazy. So as long as they keep it up, I think we can afford to send some pressure at Carr. And of course,
100%.
if things go south, we make an adjustment. But I would come out if I was Jimmy Lake and Raheem, I would come out guns blazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's like what's going to be interesting to me is that first. It's always interesting to me the first drive of every game for both teams, because
Yep.
I feel like for the offense, like if you can score on your first drive and kind of just really put the pressure on the other team,
Mm-hmm.
because that's when you really don't know. Like the defense is filling out the offense. Those first offensive plays are normally scripted anyway, unless something just
Yep.
really throws it off. So
Yep.
like last week's first drive, beautiful. Like the way like
Yeah.
everything about it was drawn up was just like fantastic.
Yeah. Perfection.
But yeah, man. And then but so if they can do, that's what for both teams, like especially like I said, especially with the injuries, I want to see kind of how that affects it and how that really, they call that first few drives of the game. Because again,
Yeah.
we can't afford to get down. Not again with these injuries, I think is less likely, but we can't afford to get down to them early like some of these other teams that like Dallas did and like
Yeah.
Carolina did, and force
Yeah.
Kirk to have to throw it all game long. Like that's something
Yeah.
we don't want. But look, with that Olave
Yeah.
injury just coming down though, man, like even if he plays, if that's a legit thing, like
Right. Yeah. He'll be
hamstrings
kind of
not.
limited.
Yeah, dude, hamstring. If you've ever pulled your hamstring, you don't just go out there and run full speed.
But the next day you're like, I'm good. Like, what's up?
No, dude. I mean, I've done it. It sucks. Like, I don't care if you even tape it up. Like, you still feel it. Like, you can shoot up,
Yeah.
you can feel whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you are limited. You cannot do everything you want to do. So, like, that's because Olave to me, man. Like for the folks that, and I know he's the Saints. Everybody hates the Saints, but I love watching that dude play because like he's such a
Yeah. He's
just
so smooth,
talented
bro.
wide receiver, man.
So smooth. I
Yeah, I just
liked him
hate
at
it.
Ohio State. I hated that the Saints drafted him.
Me too. They love those Ohio State guys every year. It
Oh
seems like
yeah.
they're always getting them,
That's
man.
their college right there.
I know. Yeah. And Chris, you said rest them again on November 10th. I'm all about it. Yeah.
Hey, let's do it. It's
Yeah.
a marathon, bro. It's a
Exactly.
marathon.
Also, I never was injury, but I'm not mad about it. Nope. I know. I
Right?
know.
Look,
Linda, what's
listen.
going on? Good to see
Hey,
you.
what's going on?
She said, "Hey guys, we really need this game." Yes, we do. If they have all these injuries, we don't need to just win, but win big. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Put it
I
on them, man.
agree, man.
I'll
I
put it.
agree.
Yeah, totally.
I agree.
So Dr. Slicknuts is not Arthur Blank. Damn it.
Okay. All
Well,
right. Don't. I wouldn't put it past him yet, John. Let's give it another week. Go check back with him.
oh man, Jerome, man, what's going on? He said it's no excuse for AK this week. Aziz Ojolari coming back home via trade could be a possibility.
Let me
Hey,
say something about that, man. AK has to show something. He has to be able to play the run game because that's the reason why he can't stay on the field for long stretches of time.
Yeah.
Because he's just predominantly a pass rusher. I mean, he's like a designated pass rusher now. Like
Yeah.
he can't stay on the field, and until he shores himself up and can set that edge in the run game, I don't see him getting the play time he needs to really pop off unless he just makes the most out of every opportunity he does get. Which this week, like you said, Jerome, is the time to do it. With all these deficiencies on their O line, I'm sure there's some stunts drawn up in there. I don't know. AK can figure something out.
Absolutely agree. Because I mean, yeah, I mean, you need playing time, but it's like every time, and I didn't think he had a bad game in KC, but like
Mm.
you said, you want to see more because, and I know it's not this regime per se that drafted him, but you did draft him in the second round. It's like,
Yeah,
you
man.
you want to see higher production for sure.
Yeah.
Christy said according to the Aints IR report, Caesar Reese, Kamara limited, yeah, and Olave had limited, yeah, yeah, I'm really. It's gonna be interesting to see how if Olave is a go on Sunday or not. Um,
Yeah.
and I mean, looking at what we can expect the Saints to do. Because looking how teams have attacked us. Philly
Mm.
did it. KC did it. They're going to run a lot out of 11 personnel, right? So they have 3 wide
Oh
receivers out there. So we set up a nickel. We have lighter guys up front, and before you know it, 6 and 7 yards, they're breaking off every time.
yeah. Yep.
And that's like I said, that's what Philly just said. Hell no, we can't do it. Philly was like, we're
Yep.
not going to do it. Like we're going to set down. A few times they did. They set up and they had a just kind of their base defense, but other times they're like, no. Like we don't believe you. Like we're gonna, we're still gonna rush and we're gonna have our guys there, and
Yeah.
you got to prove that you can, Carr's got to prove you can beat them, and
Hmm.
that's the thing, that look the Carr when he's under pressure and when he gets flustered is when he makes his mistakes, and
Yep.
I mean he was the pick that Quinyon Mitchell should have had last week for a pick
Hmm.
six. He
Yep.
stared him down the entire time. Like,
Mm.
and if you watch, that's one of the plays on the 22 I did. And if you'll
Mm.
watch, like he has a guy come up and across the middle of the field.
Yep.
I mean, it's
Yep.
going to be it's there. It just he stared
Yep.
him down. Quinyon read it and jumped it. So and then the pass at the very end of the game, the end of the game, very similar to how we ended it against Philly. Got pressure in his face. He threw the ball. Reed interception. Game
Game
over.
over.
So it's
Yeah.
like that's stuff we can expect. And one thing that kind of goes unnoticed, the Saints have blocked 2 punts this year.
Wow. Did not realize that.
Yeah, and we need Trayshawn here because we're talking about
Yeah.
special teams. But Trey, you just came on the wrong show. He was on the last show.
Right. Look.
But yeah, I mean, that's something we can't allow to happen. We can't have them blocking no punts because
We can't have them blocking no
yeah, you know what I'm saying, dude. We know. I mean, this goes back a long time. You know what I mean? Like
Oh
with
my
this
goodness.
rivalry, like we don't even want to talk
The
about it,
history of that?
right?
Nah.
So no, we
Nah.
cannot
Not in
have that.
MVS, bro.
Mm-mm. No,
Nah.
because
Not like that.
those are legit game changers. I mean, like they
Oh
really are.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, right, going on the back of game changes, right? Like the things that truly matter, the little things in the game that truly matter. The Falcons have a terrible. I don't know the exact percentage. I think for like 6 of 26 on like third down conversion rate,
It's 6 of 27. I think. Yeah, you're close. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
something like
it's
that,
bad.
right?
Yeah.
That's very very bad.
Yes.
That's not winning football. That's not sustaining drives, right? Like, sure, if we look at it, we've had success in spurts when we were able to get chunk plays, right, and
Mm-hmm.
get the run game going in spurts. But we have really, really struggled consistently sustaining drives because we cannot convert the ball on third down. Um,
No.
Maybe it's the play calling thing. I mean, I really, really didn't love the play calling decision at the end of the game last week, but I don't know. I think play calling is probably going to be the biggest factor in this game because we have the Jimmys and Joes. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm speaking on the offensive side in particular. We know what we have. It's up to Zach Robinson to come out and coordinate a game plan to put these guys in position to win. Because whatever he asks them to do, they have the capability to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just about drawing up the game plan looking at what the Saints defense has done so far this season, and then you're looking at the injuries like to the middle with Demario Davis, you got to take advantage of that.
Big time, big time. I mean, their backups. You're looking at basically his backups to Marco Jackson, which is a fairly big drop off from Demario Davis.
Yeah,
The will linebackers Pete Werner, and then Willie Gay Jr. is their Sam, basically.
yeah,
And so, I mean, it's definitely going to hurt. I mean, in the
yeah,
secondary, Marshawn Lattimore, we know we know that whole
mm,
rivalry with him. Um,
yeah,
our guy Kool-Aid, which also pisses me. They also take
yeah,
Alabama guys. You know what I
man.
mean? Like,
That's it's so bad. Like I
so
just
annoying.
why?
But I mean, I have a Mark Ingram signed Alabama football in my office, and then he gets drafted by the. I'm like, you
And
got
then
to be shitting me, dude! Like, this is like, oh
they took Kool-Aid
god,
McKinstry. They took Mark Ingram. The
yeah,
Carolina Panthers took and destroyed Bryce Young.
destroyed it. Yeah, man. And then so free safety, of course, Tony Badger, Will Harris at strong safety. So defense still isn't bad. I mean, look, last week Carl Granderson just, I don't know, even in the Philly game, like he was everywhere. Like
Yeah.
he's had a really good season. So like he's kind of a worry, especially if he's lined up over, Storm or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. It's something that
Yeah.
you kind of worry about.
Yeah.
Chase Young had a pretty good game. I mean, like I still don't
Yeah.
think he's like the guy we have to really necessarily worry about, per se.
Right. Right.
But because he still hasn't really lived up to that first
That
pick
billing.
type of, whatever
Yeah.
he was. But still not I mean, still a big, powerful dude, regardless. Like
Oh yeah.
you can't ignore him. And he is good in the run game. Like he's really good in the
Oh
run
yeah.
game. So
Yeah.
we'll have to get creative on that as well. But like, I mean, Cam Jordan is not Cam Jordan that he used to be. He's definitely,
Yeah.
it was his 14th year now, I think. So
Yeah. He should have retired with Matt Ryan.
yeah, you're eventually going to fall off. Eventually, you're going to start declining. It's about that time because dude drives me
Yeah.
crazy. Um,
Yeah.
and Peyton Turner, Brian, like I said, Brian Bassie too. That he's going to
Oh
cause some
yeah.
havoc in that middle of the line because he had a really
Yeah.
good game last week. So we just we hope Newsel and Lindstrom and those guys and two. I mean, we haven't really we haven't talked a lot this year. About just not just Dahlman, but I mean basically that entire interior doing pretty good
Yeah.
work. It's because
Yeah.
we've been running so much outside zone. They
Yeah.
don't get a ton of attention, but like that's
Yeah.
something we're going to have to watch for sure during this game.
Yeah.
What's going on, William? He said Saints good team this year. Yeah, we
Yeah.
think so.
Think
I mean,
so. Yeah.
yeah, definitely got to cover all of them for sure. It's
So
a defense like D. Alfred got to step up, make plays. A.K. Lorenzo, and I heard during, and I think you probably did too, during preseason that their training camp that Antonio Hamilton was kind of right on D. Alfred's heels.
yeah, I did
Uh,
hear that. I
so
did.
I know Antonio had, he had the injury too, that kind of, so maybe that pushed him back a little bit, but
Maybe. Yeah.
we'll see. We said, why is Raheem not starting his young defensive line? Well, basically, dude, just who, number one, this is my thoughts at least, who we
Mhm.
faced so far, and the fact that we are so deep, and those guys are not doing terrible work. I mean, they're,
Mhm.
when you've got Grady, when you've got Onyemata, and no, I don't. I would be totally fine, especially this week with a quarterback that's not very mobile. Let Rook go in there and get after him a few
Yeah.
times.
Yep. Like
Dorless
that.
probably has some extra time to kind of get there,
Yeah.
just from what we saw, in preseason.
Yeah.
But Rook being a second round pick, yeah, man, get his ass in there.
Yeah,
Like it's
man.
time to get
That's
him some
what I'm saying.
reps.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this week would be the week. And TQ, Taquan Graham.
Having a good season.
He's having a really good season this year, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see him in that role because I've liked him, and I remember I think he tore, was it his ACL he tore?
Yeah, I think
That
so. Mm-hmm.
and to see him come back and still be and to be even better seemingly, like yeah, I'm happy for him, man. He deserves the time that he's getting right now.
I agree. Yeah, he was on the right track right before he got hurt. So I mean, it was terrible when he had
Yeah.
that injury, and then wasn't quite himself when he came back. But he started, like you said, starting to look a lot like his old self now, which is great. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
really the main thing. That interior is such a clogged spot right now. I mean,
Yeah.
we even talk about Eddie Goldman. Eddie Goldman's actually getting decent pass
Yeah.
rush rate. I mean, so it's like,
That's true.
I mean, and when you have a team like this, like with the Saints, like and if we're really going to do some of these 5 and 6 man fronts, then you're going to see all those guys on the field at the same time. So
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I would like to. I'd love to see Eddie in the middle, and like we've talked about
Oh,
several times on the show, have Eddie in the middle, have Grady on the left, and TQ on the right, or and Anya Mata, whoever you want to put right there. Just
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that'd be great. Dre
That
said
would
if
be
Taysom, oh man, if Taysom lines up a QB and we don't do zero blitz, I'm pissed. He hasn't thrown in 2 years, and he wasn't in the top 30 when he did. Dude, it is like the most mind-boggling thing.
bro. That's Taysom Hill loves to see the Falcons coming. He
Absolutely.
loves to see the Falcons coming. Hopefully not this year.
No,
Hopefully not
it's
this year. That's
but look, Dre's right. Every time he's like, hey guys, he's going to run the ball. Like
yeah,
if he
yeah,
passes it and he gets you, then he gets you. But
yeah,
I'm totally fine with you just like
yeah,
you said, go zero and get after him. Like whatever, dude.
yeah,
Like he's running the ball, especially
yep.
if it's third and short. Like he's running the ball.
Oh yeah, oh
Because
yeah,
they're not trying to overthink it, and that's the thing
no,
too. And Jimmy Lake talked about it in his press conference too. And they'd ask him about like, what are we going to do to get, because we've allowed so many 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s, like where what's it? We're like 2 of 10 as far as stopping it,
yeah,
which it's not easy because they only need 1
yeah,
or 2 yards, so it's easier.
right,
But like they got to do a better job on 1st and 2nd down, not allowing them to get these chunk yardage, whether it's to the run.
yeah,
And then that's the thing is like, and it's the league sees like, okay, but they can't stop you if you run out of 11, and if they had the
yeah,
personnel to do that, then we're going to try that,
yeah,
and force them to stop us. So that's
yeah.
that's the only thing that makes you worry. But yeah, 72% of their snaps versus the Eagles was motion. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
see,
That's a
that's a high percentage.
it's a very high percentage.
Yeah.
But what's weird, and this was listening to Ross Jackson actually this week on Locked On Saints, they only use play action 28% of the time this week, as opposed to like they were using it over 40% the previous 2 weeks. And
Hmm.
I mean, that could be just how the game went. They couldn't really afford,
Yeah.
and as hard as Philly was getting after him, maybe they
Oh
were
yeah.
afraid to
Yeah.
to
They
give
didn't have the
many.
time.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, we'll have to see, man. Christian said also, wish we would run up the score like they did us in January. Yeah, I saw they asked Ryan about that. Newsel, they said, is anything left over from that game last year? And he was just like, no, new team, new season. But
Yeah.
some of the guys that are here, now, you're all competitors, man. Like,
Yeah.
that shit
You
still
remember
sticks
that?
in you. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that. No, that's crazy. Like thinking about that. Think about Arthur Smith's last frame as Falcons head coach.
Just cussing out the guy, man. Just cussing him out. It was like, I think, we said on the show that week, it was like the perfect ending to it was just like,
It was.
this is how it was going to go out right here.
Yep.
The Saints are
It
going to
was
put in the Saints are going to score a freaking FU touchdown, and then Arthur's going to lose his mind and go after Dennis Allen on the field, and then he's going to be fired that night, and then it's just,
yeah.
somebody
And
asked
then
me, I
y'all put
think,
the sunset.
no, dude, it was somebody asked me too, because we did a show that day, the day Arthur was fired, and that was our most watched, or at least live. Like we had over 1,000 people in here, man. Like it was
Wow.
between Twitter and YouTube, it was over 1,000.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was fake. I
Wow.
kept seeing this number, and I was like, I text Mike because we had our buddies, Bless Your Heart Boys. We had those guys on that day, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And so I text Mike, I'm like, are you seeing the number? And he's like, no, what is it? I'm like, never mind. I'm not even going to tell you then, because it was like, I don't know if he could even see it, but yeah, no, he can't see the Twitter number. But like I'm looking at it, I'm just like, no way. But everybody want to talk about it. Everybody want, they have had something to say or whatever. But that was just
That was something. Ooh,
yeah. But that's the thing. So when stuff like that happens, or when we're winning, that's when the show everybody wants to talk about it. Everybody wants to.
Yeah.
When we're losing, it's like. So I don't even know what it's really like. Like this, we started the show like halfway through 21, I think it was. So we've never really experienced winning. Like that's a show. Like I don't even know what.
You know what? That is so true, bro. I be saying the same thing. Like I have not been consistently doing podcasts at a time where week after week I'm coming on like celebrating a W. It's always like 1 win and 2 losses.
Yeah, there's something going on, or like, yeah, it's like I just want to have a season where we can actually talk about the playoffs, like actually being in the playoffs.
Oh my
and
God.
not just running shows during the playoffs talking about those games. Like,
can you imagine that?
No, I can't. I would love to. Yeah,
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I want to see how the show does when everybody's really excited, and wants to talk about it.
Playoff show energy has to be great.
Yeah, because I even said last week, like I know how I am. Like me personally, like when we lose, I don't really want to listen to anything. Like I don't want to. Like it takes me a day or two. So like I get it. If our shows have like 4 people watching it on the day after us losing, I
Yep.
understand. I totally understand.
Yep.
So yeah, it is the way it is, man. Jamal said, "You fellas going to any away games this year? Might be in Tampa at 10/27." I have no idea, man.
I don't
It's
know yet either.
our schedule is so based around my kids' schedule. It's like it's impossible to plan. If it is, it'll be like a last minute type thing. But Tampa would be one of the options since it's drivable, it's
Right,
close.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
Tampa, Carolina, something like
hmm
that.
exactly. So basically, man, what do you? I mean, I know these injuries change a lot of things, but like, what are you looking at as far as like what we have to do? Like, if we come out with a victory, what did we do right during that game?
We executed in the red zone. We got touchdowns instead of kicking field goals. We played better on third downs. We converted better on third downs. And we have to win the turnover battle. If we lose the turnover battle and we're bad at third downs, that's just going to continue our already started progression of stalling, not being able to sustain drives. We have to be able to get down the field, and when we get down there, if we're sustaining a drive, there's nothing more deflating than kicking a field goal after a long, beautiful drive. Settle in for three. So we have to start getting seven in the red zone. That's how we win.
100%. Yeah, I don't even have anything else. Like that was, I mean, that's been the biggest thing. It's like we,
Yeah.
the red zone scoring, like, and that seems like it's no matter who the coordinator has been, except for Shanahan during that fateful year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it's like we've always had that issue. It's like we
Yeah.
get down there and it's like all of a sudden, we
Yep.
just get out, we try to do something else or get cute, and if
Yeah.
it's Arthur Smith, we're trying to, John O. Smith is trying to throw a pass to, like Nicole Pruitt or something, you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of dumb shit that he
Yeah.
pulls out, you know what I mean? So it's like I don't think we're going to see any
I
of
forgot
that,
about
right?
You know what
But
though? Like, think about a history. Well, thank God we didn't have to live through this type of history. But in the alternate universe, because the Falcons have, in my lifetime, we've had great success with kickers. Like we had like Matt
yeah,
Bryant.
hmm
We've had Younghoe Koo. Like, imagine if we just like I can't think of a specific team, but there are teams out here that struggle at the kicker position constantly.
yeah,
And like, imagine where we ever be if we didn't have such amazing field goal kickers, bro.
yeah.
We wouldn't win anything. We wouldn't
Oh,
have
not at
won
all.
anything.
No, not at all. And then it's like, and I'm so happy that Koo's doing this thing because I thought the
Oh, the
freak out of
preseason.
the preseason was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Like he's
yeah,
literally like third in like field goal percentage
accuracy.
behind like the two like elite guys,
Yeah,
over the
yeah,
last 3 or 4 years. Like he's gonna be
yeah.
okay. Like,
Oh yeah,
um I mean, he wasn't like stubbing his toe and kicking them and like, what I mean, like they were all missed to the left. It's fine, like
yeah,
he'll figure it out.
yeah,
But no, but like I said, yeah, totally agree with you on that on the red zone percentage, getting touchdowns, sustained drives. We said that last week. That's the way you beat Pat Mahomes is don't let him on the field. And
yeah,
obviously this offense, especially with the injuries they have, are not as scary as the Chiefs offense or even the Eagles offense for that matter.
yeah.
But it's like either way, if you really want to wear a team down, it is, yeah, stay on
Mm.
the field, man. Like, do
Oh
what you're good at. Run the ball. Let Bijan and Tyler get after it. Let
yeah,
Tyler lay the hits on people. And I understand. We said it on last show, man. Like with Steven and Trey, it's like it's tough to. You have so many playmakers. It's tough to get the ball to everybody. I get
oh
that,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like it's with the run game, especially though. It's like Tyler can inflict some pain on some guys. So it's like it's
Like our running in between the tackles right now is not been sufficient.
mm-mm.
And I feel like that's something we could lean on. Like I know right now we're going through the loss of our starting center.
Mhm.
But like you said, I mean you had Bergeron who's playing well. You had Dahlman who's been playing well, and you have all pro Chris Lindstrom, and you're only running outside zone. Like, and you have a battering ram in Tyler Algier. And not for nothing, sometimes Bijan can run in between the tackles too. I've seen him make magic in between
Mhm.
the tackles before. So I don't know, man. I'm hoping that's something that we turn more attention to when we can. I don't know if that'll be in the cards right now because of the center loss with Noodle
Mhm.
being there. But if Noodle shows that he can step up, maybe we start running behind him. Hell, we got to try something. We
Yeah.
can't just because even though we have an amazing running game and you can switch from left to right with outside zone, of course,
Mhm.
you still become a little bit predictable. Like you kind of know what is coming. You
Yeah.
know what to at least look out for. And I mean, this would be a good week to throw a curveball, but like I said, Noozle would have to step up and do his part if that would be the case. But
Agreed. Agreed. And
yeah,
I think, and watching a few things, like I just through the first three games, you can tell like there already been some changes Zach has made, which is
mm,
great because that he's not so tied up in his own philosophy or ego or whatever you want to call it. There's so
yep,
many coaches get. I'm not just saying about Arthur, but yeah, Arthur was maddening to watch film on every week because you would literally see the same shit happen every week. And I know he was limited by the
yeah,
quarterback, but
yeah,
like there was still like it was just banging your head against the wall, like doing the same thing. It's not working. It's just driving me crazy. But you can see Zach obviously already make some changes in the way
mm,
that he schemed, the way the plays are called. Now, the one thing I would like to see maybe less of is, I think they're using Darnell Mooney. Like, I'm glad they're using but like screen passes and stuff like that, like that's not necessarily his game.
yeah. The bubble screen, and I get it. They're making that his thing because he's quick and speedy. But that's more of a Ray McLeod thing, and I even like Drake
Even
London on those screens they
or
used to
even
give.
Bijan, man. Like, I mean, like
Bijan,
anybody.
of course. Like
I
that's the
mean,
thing. Like you still need to be creative. Like and motion is good because it creates misdirection and gets the defense flowing a certain way.
mhm,
But like you also have to be creative on top of that as well. Because this is nothing new. I mean, defenses have been playing against this Shanahan and McVay type of scheme for years now. So they
mhm,
have plans in place to account for motion, to account for these things. Like you mentioned, the lines shifting and doing things like that when they see motion. Like they have cues, right, to
yeah,
read. So you still have to switch it up sometimes. Like no matter the play action, the misdirection, it's all good, but it has to be paired up with solid inside running game, solid outside running game, solid drop back throwing, like or pass plays. Like you have to mix it up. You can't become one thing.
yep, 100%. And I mean, funny enough, like the Saints' issues and their strengths are really close to ours. Like they've been really good running the ball. I mean, they were averaging 5 yards a carry out of 11 personnel. That's what they were averaging pretty much the first three games. Even with the crappy game against the Eagles, but they only
Oh
ran
wow.
it. Yeah, and they only ran it 9 times against the Eagles that I counted. I could be wrong, but I think it was only 9 times they ran it against out of 11 personnel, and only one was actually successful. They got a 16-yard run out of it for Kamara. The rest of them were either losses or 1 or 2 yard gains. So
Wow.
that's what I'm saying. The Eagles just said, no, hell no. We're going to put these bodies up here, and y'all ain't going to be able to block
Yeah.
us. And look, and Trevor
Yeah.
Penning, Trevor Penning got just destroyed by Jalen
It was
Carter and those
beautiful.
guys. It was
It was
beautiful. And I mean,
beautiful.
I think that's why he pushed Slay out for 10 yards. He was just so pissed that he was getting whipped so
Yeah.
long. He was like, oh, this is a
Yeah.
small guy. I can take this guy out.
I can get
Um,
him.
yeah. And they did actually they fined dude that hit Devonta last week
Oh, I saw that.
like
Good.
$4,000, something like that. Yeah, that was
Good,
stupid.
bro.
Like
That
he
was
was
crazy.
clearly tackled. He's 170 pounds. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Like
like
you're
come on,
like,
dog.
what are you, 300 pounds? You coming at him with a freaking helmet? Ridiculous.
Literally, bro.
Um, yeah. But yeah. So like I said, your keys align straight with mine, man. And I would love to see Kyle have another good game. I know he only had the 2 catches,
Yep.
but it was 60 yards. So I would love to see
Yep.
him keep kind of getting it more into the flow. Even Trey
Yep.
said last week on the show, like if you watch Kirk Cousins throughout his career, like yeah, he kind of goes and not spurts, but like he will when he attaches to a guy, he looks for that guy a lot. So there
Yeah.
may be a game where, or maybe a stretch of games where Drake's getting fed, then all of a sudden it's you know Kyle, then it's Darnell or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's great that we have this many options. It's just like
Yeah.
I just don't want to see the overthinking to get those options involved. You know what I mean?
I
Does that make
agree.
sense? I mean,
I know. I completely agree. I think Zach Robinson said it best in his press conference when they asked about is he going to try to get Kyle the ball more. And you know, you always want to hear your offensive coordinator and head coach say, "Yeah, like we're gonna get this superstar the ball. We're gonna make sure we get him." But when you have so many, like
mhm.
on offense, like you mentioned like 5 minutes ago, it's just so tough to commit to that because you have to let these stars get the ball in the flow of the game. Because that truly is what's best when you have so many. There are offenses where, yeah, maybe we only have Justin Jefferson. So, of course, we're going to target him 15 times a game. Like,
Yep.
you have to do what you have to do. But when you have an offense with so many different options, those 2 plays for 60 yards, that's huge. Like, to me, that's where Kyle Pitts falls in at. And I love what they're doing with Darnell Mooney as far as stretching the field. His corner routes, his crossing routes, his deep dig routes. Like, I don't know. I like what they're doing with Mooney. I feel like he's going to get Kyle Pitts more involved and ingratiated as the season goes. I mean, it's as simple as a deep corner route, apparently, sometimes. So, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's like the reason you got Darnell, I thought, was because he was such a good route runner and somebody you can use
Yep.
across the middle of the field, quick
Yep.
feet, can win it. But it's like, we've seen Drake, I think maybe underrated route runner himself. I mean, like he can,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like he can shake
Yeah.
guys. He's even though he's bigger and may not have the elite top end speed, he can still win. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah. I mean, they're like, argue how you want. There's a reason he was picked as the first receiver in that draft. I mean, I know a lot of people say Garrett Wilson is better than him, but for a guy his size
yeah,
to be able to move the way he moves, it's almost weird. And people don't give him enough credit for that. I don't know if people realize that he's like 6'4", 6'5".
yeah,
Like he's very tall, and he creates separation at the beginning or at the top of his routes
hmm,
consistently.
yeah.
And
Well,
and there was a play where he just ran like a little curl route, like a 3 yard curl for the first down, and I mean the defender was draped all over him, but Kirk is just like, all right, he's boxing them out.
yeah.
I'm gonna give him the ball. I mean, he's right there. So Drake is one of those guys that can technically he's always open because if you put the ball in the right spot, he can usually make a play on the ball.
Yeah, you
I
even saw
mean,
last year with Desmond throwing him some of those things. He was throwing him, and he was going up and taking it out of the air or whatever he
yeah,
had to do. I mean, almost putting himself in dangerous situations to catch
yeah,
the ball. But I mean,
yeah,
like,
man.
yeah, I mean, yeah, totally, 100%. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, other than what you said, I basically third down is going to be huge for on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively. We got to convert on third downs. Maybe not try to make it 3rd and 8, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12. Get those shorter third down conversions. On the flip
Yeah.
side, get them off the field on third down. We can't let them, like what the Saints did or what the Chiefs did, have these long 10-minute drives that are just wearing
Yeah,
your defense down, and you have multiple
yeah,
chances to get them off the field and don't do it. We could do that. Turn the ball over, turn them over, and get Carr,
yeah,
score off those turnovers. Because
yeah,
if you can steal a possession and get still points, I mean, like you only get 30 possessions during the game, man. So like if
yeah,
you're able to steal one, then go score off of it.
yeah,
That and don't allow the explosives. Try to limit the explosives because if Olave's not 100%, that's great. But Shaheed is probably the fastest guy on that team,
yeah. Oh
and
yeah,
a complete burner. And Carr's been he's been hitting them, man, this year. Like he's been
yeah.
putting
He's
some
been putting
dimes
it
on these
there.
guys. So I mean, like
Yeah,
that's things we can't really afford either. So and again, I'm just curious to see how they line up defensively because I want to see really how they're going to. Because you just can't allow if you allow Kamara to get 5 and 6 yards of carry, it doesn't matter what they're doing other than that because
yeah,
that's going to ruin the game for you. So
yeah.
how they
And
defend him is going to be big.
that's true. That's interesting. And that's why the injuries play such a big role because I was
Hmm.
thinking like if you have Olave and you have Shaheed both playing, I would if Kamara is out, I would expect to see a lot of too high. But like
Exactly.
if Kamara is playing and Olave's out, or either way it goes, then that just changes up how Jimmy Lake is probably going to see the game plan leaning.
Yeah. But regardless, I can't see even if those even if some of those hurt guys play, like the injuries that they have defensively, offensively, we cannot come out of this with a loss. Like that'll be, I think,
Yeah,
the biggest like depressing freaking thing that you could because
yeah,
there's just no reason for it. You're at home. It's the first division game. This is not, I mean, I think Steven said it last week. Is you're not facing a like world renowned defensive coordinator. I mean, like
right.
you're not facing a Steve Spagnuolo or a Fangio or I mean Tomlin and his defense. Like this is just, I mean, this sounds no chump. Don't get me wrong, but like he
Right. Yeah.
doesn't quite have the personnel that those teams have, and it's like you just want to see us take advantage of it, man. Take advantage of it and get the
Yeah.
win at home, get 2-2, because then you got the Bucks coming in. The Bucks have got the Philly, as it has Philly this week, so we hope Philly can just continue what they were doing off the Saints game, take care of them. We take care of the Bucks, and then we go to we've got Carolina. So these next 3 games, you never want to say, and I'm, like I never think we're out of it until we're literally mathematically out of it. Because I think we can literally, we can get on a run, we can do it, we can start, if we change this and this and this, we can get on the run.
Yeah, we get
it's
on the road.
It's that 10 stages of Falcons fans, right? It's what Mike created. If y'all haven't seen 10 stages of Falcons fan, go watch it.
Evergreen video.
Yeah, oh man, it's just fantastic. So it's but it's that stage where you just blind belief, whatever you want to call it. It's like, no, we're good. We always what do you say if Tiger Woods stubs his toe, the Lakers lose, the Cowboys, whatever, like then we can get in. Like basically what happens, so I don't think like we're ever out of it until we're really out of it. But when you have 3 games in a row against your division, like you gotta take care. Like we need to be 2-1, if not 3-0. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And like looking at the schedule before the season, I remember thinking we probably get out of the first 4 2-2, and if that happens, I'd be good with it. So if we can make that happen this weekend, because like you said, Bucks, Panthers coming up, like these are division games. You got to get a hold of those, but like these are also NFC games. We already beat the Eagles, right? That was a game that I didn't think we would get. So that's something that's a cool notch to have under our belt when we get late into the season, when it becomes November and December, and those NFC matchups matter too. It's good to have those under your belt. So like, it would be great to be able to catch our footing against New Orleans, and then hit the ground running against Tampa and Carolina. And I think that'll set us up for a good season.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of momentum, man. I mean, you got going, you on a 3-game run, and then going into what we have, was it Seattle pretty soon after that, I think, maybe?
Yeah, I think we have. That's another one of those NFC guys. Like, it may not be in your division, but like when you're fighting for, if you end up fighting for like a wild card spot, these are things that matter.
How wild is that Minnesota game going to be now? Like, I thought that was going to be like,
I know, like, oh, that's a dub.
Now we got Sam Darnold playing like a damn, like, all
man,
all of a sudden.
Like, what? And you know what? Every week it seems like more and more. I can't remember who said. Tom Brady was talking about teams giving up on young quarterbacks and not properly, letting them grow through the system and through the culture, and like really giving them the time they need to become great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're seeing guys, Smith, Sam Darnold is playing great. Baker Mayfield last year in Tampa, like. You're seeing quarterbacks have that second push in their career now, and it just adds credence to what Tom Brady said. Like, and then you look at a guy like Bryce Young. I mean, I know it's ugly, and I know it's been tough for him. I mean, you're asking a guy, number 1 overall pick, yes, but you're asking a guy to come in and just to be great from day one because he's your starter. Only C.J. Stroud has done that in the last 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah, personnel be damned. Like, we don't care if you have no receivers, no running back, and a shoddy offensive line. Just be great. Just be great.
Doesn't matter. Just go be great.
Yeah.
Go be great.
And we would say this, by the way, even if it wasn't an Alabama quarterback. Like, I mean, we're not just saying it because it's Bryce Young.
Like, if you look at Caleb Williams right now, he has made some good plays, but there were some people, talking down on him. I'm like, bro, it's week 3 in his rookie season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as good as he looked in college, you have to understand this is a totally different speed. Like, especially for quarterbacks, those windows, especially for quarterbacks, I think, that play off tempo and that make that extend plays and stuff in college. Because I've heard quarterbacks say this. I obviously didn't play quarterback in NFL. I don't know if you know that or not. But from what I've heard, the windows closing speed is the difference.
Makes sense.
For a guy that's throwing off the marker all the time and throwing across his body and stuff like that, even though he has a very strong arm, the windows are closing faster than he anticipates. So you can't expect a guy like that to be amazing day one. Yeah. Jaden Daniels has looked really good, but Jaden Daniels, to me, even though he does improvise, he plays in schedule better than a lot of rookies. Like, he plays in schedule.
But look how many games he started in his college career.
Right. Michael Penix Jr. type stuff? I don't know.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Hey, we do have somebody else that's going to pop on the show real quick. I mean,
The
if y'all,
rapper himself.
I mean, I think it's probably going to be going gold pretty soon already. If y'all haven't seen
Yeah,
the diss
yeah.
track that Low put out, I'm pretty sure it's going gold pretty soon.
Yeah, give it a week. It be plat.
What's going on, fellas?
Yeah, what's up,
What's up,
buddy?
Big Low?
Doing good, man. Can y'all hear me all right?
Yes,
Yeah, you're
sir.
straight. Yeah.
Perfect.
We just finished up talking to man about the what we just kind of like if we win on Sunday, which I mean, I guess have you seen all these recent injuries like Olave getting hurt today too?
Olave's hurt?
Olave pulled his hand or hurt his hamstring today at practice. So he's now listed as
Wow.
questionable. So yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Crazy.
I ain't
no,
gonna lie to you. I'm Rasheed Shaheed's the one I'm scared of.
that's what we just
I
talked about
know.
because he's the fastest dude on the team, man. He can blow
Yeah.
past anybody.
Yeah.
But they're going to be missing Cesar Ruiz. They're going to be missing their best offensive lineman, Eric McCoy. I mean, Trevor Penning coming off a terrible game against Jalen Carter. So it's like, I mean, well, same question I just asked Fleek. So if we win Sunday, what do we do right?
I mean, showing up.
come out of the locker room. put our uniforms on.
Nah, I mean, it's crazy because it's like, of course everyone's gonna say, "Hey, man, like, they had
That's
a lot
the spirit
of
of Mike right there. I love it.
Everybody gonna say they had a lot of injuries and everything, but at the end of the day, man, shoot, all those guys are professional football players. So, I mean, it's one of those things, man. It is what it is. We show up.
Yeah.
We end up like I've watched every Saints game this season, and I watched every Falcons game, and I just feel like the Falcons are the better team. I mean, just leaving bias out of it, I just feel like the Falcons are the better team.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't disagree, man. Because like I said, we talked about at the beginning of the show, like you don't really know what. I mean, that game against the Panthers. I mean, you scored 47 points against we thought a decent defense. So okay, that is what it is. Clint Kubiak's got the offense playing better, but the Panthers obviously are a different team under Bryce Young or Andy Dalton apparently. So we don't know what that is. Obviously they struggle or they beat the hell out of Cowboys, but Cowboys have been up and down too. They struggled with the Giants last night. So it's like. We really don't know, who they are, and then you top it off with some of these injuries they have. Like Demario Davis is out too, Low.
Yeah, I saw that. Demario Davis was out.
Yeah, so I mean, like it's, yeah. I mean, I told him, I said, "There's really no excuse, man, that we come out of this with a loss. There's no way."
Yeah. We look, man. That's the goal. That's the goal.
The entire fan base.
I'll tell you what. That emergency coaches meeting would be crazy if we lose Sunday.
Oh
my God. But you better just turn the chat off is what you need to do. You need to go in there and talk for 30 minutes and then
you're
not going to want to hear that chat, man.
I'm telling you.
Jamal was up. He said, can't wait for my vacation. Haven't caught many shows in there at this oil field. Hey, it's all good, man. 2.5 weeks left. That's all. Hey, man. You're getting there, dude. Larry, what's up, man? He said, have a good stream, fellas. Smash the like button, everyone. That's right, damn it. We also need Pitts and Drake in the slot more on third. Play action, some quick slants, and then it's money every time. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally down. Low on that play last week, the fourth down play. Were you okay with it, or would you preferred like Kirk had the ball in his hands for that play?
I mean, it's like I hate plays like that for fourth and shorts because it's like 2 or 3 things have to go right. And it's kind of like what me and our coaches used to refer to. Like sometimes you just have to play Neanderthal ball, have to play Neanderthal football, and I mean run ISO or exactly A gap and B gap only. My guy against your guy, like who's going to get it done. But look, I mean at the end of the day, it's like those guys that get paid a whole lot more than I do. So I mean, they must have thought it will. Look, if somebody would have picked up that block, Bijan
probably a touchdown. Yeah, that's what we said. I mean, it's all hindsight. If it works, it's great. If it doesn't work, everybody criticizes it. But it's like, I feel the same way. I mean, when you got inches to get, I never like running sideways ever. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. Exactly. And I understand it may work, but like especially when you when they're set up kind of that way, and the you know all eyes is going to be on Bijan because that's he's in the backfield. I mean, I know Tyler was there too, but I mean, that's just it just makes sense. So I would have preferred maybe something different, and I would have been fine with Kirk throwing a little quick curl, anything like that, to whether it was Drake or Pitts or whatever, one of the big guys. Let him get open, man. Jamal said tackle and edge need to be our first draft picks next year. Tackle's got to be coming soon, right?
Yeah, at some point here. I'm telling you right now, though, that edge, okay, enough's enough. All right.
No more edge.
All right.
We need somebody we need an edge who's already been proven that can just bring here and do his job, just like Ray Edwards did back in the day.
Unless there's like this guy that's at the top that we can somehow trade up for or something that's just like looked at as like, okay, once he gets in the league, he'll wreck shop. Unless it's something like that. These second round edge rushers and stuff, I'm good now. I'm all right, man.
Man, I even said before that.
I mean, Matthew Judon, he got 2 sacks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's the thing is, he just can't do it by himself.
Exactly. And it sucks. I thought Trice was coming along pretty well, man, before he got hurt. Like I would have loved. Yeah, I would have loved to have seen him like with Judon on the other side, But it's like, it's almost. I said it on a previous show. Like, I almost treat edges almost like quarterbacks in a way. Like when you see a first round edge come in the league, a lot of times they're not. It's not an instant impact type of thing, because a lot of those edges in college, they're winning by one move. Like in this, like in the NFL, you can't win with one move. You got to have a counter move and a counter to that counter move. It's like, because these tackles are for real. So, it takes this like an adjustment period for them too. But yeah, I'm all, dude. If you can get, I know they tried to. I know they tried to go get, what's his name from Minnesota, who ended up going to.
Dallas Turner.
Dallas Turner. No. No, yeah, Danielle Hunter.
Hunter.
Before
free agency. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I know they tried to go get him, which would have been great. But it just, it's got to. Unfortunately, the other team has to agree to it, and we haven't had any luck with that. Dre said, "Go Dogs." Hey, it's all good, man. It's going to be a hell of a game.
It is, bro. Oh man.
What's going on, Carrie?
What up, Carrie?
Says Happy Hate Week.
Happy Hate Week.
Did you see Olave got hurt in practice today? We did, and him and Kamara. Yeah, Kamara both questionable. Already down there, starting center and guard. Hope we capitalize and we got to capitalize.
We got to. Man, for real. Like,
big
blow up if we don't. I already see it.
Dre said they'll damn Lattimore will make wide receivers pull hammies trying to get him off them holds. Dude, I'm telling you. Man, I should look and see how many times he's holding. It's a ton. Carrie said, I'm the same way after a loss. I can't even watch the press conferences right away. I have to wait till at least a few days. I don't want to hear any excuses or anything. I was saying exactly the same way. 100%. Like I can't even get on. I can't even watch a coaches meeting that night. I just can't do it. Like I just have to.
You know what's so funny? Big Low is the only video I watched after the Falcons lose the emergency coaches meeting. I couldn't tell you why. It's the energy in there. It's like we all just going through it together, but it's not like negative. You know what I'm saying? It's family struggling together. And then and then a lot of times it be late at night. You know what I'm saying? Just relax. I don't know if I grabbed the moonshine that Big Low got, but I just grabbed me a little drink, man, and I just attend the coaches meeting. You know what I mean? That's the only thing we can do, man.
You said like it's talking about
it's water.
It's
water.
Okay.
I mean, no, it really is. This is like, you're meeting and talking about like you said, like you got a cousin or an uncle that just like can't get it together.
Yes.
It's like, man, he did it again. Like, what are we gonna do about this guy? But no, you're right. You're 100% right. And it's like we haven't even, and truthfully, Mike and I, until this season, like we did a couple in the previous 2 years, but we didn't really even come on and record after the games, especially not just because a lot of them were end up losses, but like we will get so heated during the games, stupidly or not, we would get like emotional and stupid. And if y'all see me tweet during games, I get stupid during the game. So it's like I will, it's like,
oh my goodness, like John is.
I mean, I don't even want to come on. Like, after the game because like I'm gonna say something stupid. I'm gonna be like, man, I should
You
have
should
said
watch
that.
a game with John.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You should
Yeah.
watch a game with John.
I
If
mean,
you think his tweets are crazy, watch it. I watched the Panthers game last year with
Oh
John.
yeah, man.
I ain't never seen John like that before.
dude, that was the dumbest pass I've ever seen.
Goodness
That was
gracious.
just, yeah,
I
but
was beside myself.
yeah, I mean, but regardless though, it's like I don't, we just between and Mike, Mike is y'all know Mike, right? So like,
Yeah.
one of us has to have our head on our shoulders. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, if neither one of us are doing it, there's no damn way we need to come on and do a show. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, man.
Because we don't want to have that negative type shit. We'd still probably keep it up. Because even like after we lost, I think what was it? We came on after the I don't know if it was the first game. Might have been the first game. Yeah, the first game against the, and Mike was still up. Like he was just happy. Like which was great. Which is I was really surprised because he actually got me more up because I was a lot more down than he was. But so this year, like we're trying to do more after the games. We're trying to like kind of like have a little woosah moment before we come on. And like okay, let's get our shit together, type of thing. But the next for like Liam's baseball fall schedule starts next Sunday. So like for 4 weeks basically. I mean, it's probably not going to be a right after the game type of moment. So I'm not. I'll be watching. The only good thing is like he's only pitching this year, so I don't have to worry about him playing in the field or hitting or whatever. So like when I'll go watch him pitch, then I'll have the game on my phone and whatever we're good to go. But either way, those weeks the recap show will probably be on Mondays. To which is fine. That gives us a day to kind of like get our like I said,
sleep on it.
Get our stuff together. But let's see, man. Hopefully said I will line up in I formation with Algier at fullback and alone will help Bijan with blocking and also mix in some additional direct plays to Algier. Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. I mean, Algier is definitely I don't think he's been asked to block a whole lot in his career. But
Algier at fullback dives would be nice.
Yeah, why not, man?
Hey.
Timothy, what's up, man? He said, "What's up, man? Are we ready for some Ain't Barbecue Sunday?" Yes, we are.
Yes, sir.
Jamal said, "What in the world, Bo?"
What in the world, Bo? What's going on, Jay?
Chris, he said, "Y'all gonna make Big Low come out with a new hate rap."
It's about that time, man.
Oh, dude, that came out of nowhere yesterday. I finally got to see it when I got home yesterday. I was like, "What are y'all talking?" I kept seeing the message thing going off. I'm like, "What are y'all talking about?" And I finally got to see it, and man, I was crying laughing, man. It was fantastic, man.
That was funny.
Hopefully, said Big Low is pizza week, buddy.
Pizza. You Fleek and John, y'all know where they come from, right?
What's that? What?
Is it Little Caesars Superdome?
Yeah, he does the Caesar Superdome. We call it Little Superdome. Every time they get first down, they say
Little Caesars.
That's hilarious. Christy said, "Big Low and Coach Roney makes us laugh and we want to cry, but can't."
That's what. Hey, you know what? That's what it is, Christy.
There it is.
That's what it is.
King Richie said, "Y'all watch Big Low music video, man. That shit got me hyped up."
I'm telling you. Hey, that's the thing too. He was spitting bars though. Like he was really talking.
It was so funny, man. Better everybody doesn't stream at the same. What? Oh, Jamal said better every time. Everybody doesn't stream at the same time anyway, John. I have too many to tap into. I'm telling you. Look, Monday. Low. Did you see Monday? Like literally everybody recorded on Monday. Did you see that? Like at the same time. Dude, yeah, because because we had to adjust ours because Mike was out of town. So I was like, we'll just go Monday. So it was like I think you were on. Freaking Smitty and Berto were on. Like Mike was on. Like, everybody was on because I was like our numbers. We had like 6 people. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I was like, what is happening? And then I'm looking back at the video. I'm like, man, like that was literally the lowest. Like amount of people that we've ever had. But I look back, I'm like, dude, everybody was recording. So like people were coming in and out. Like, going to different
low too, John.
That's why, because everybody
think about it. Yeah, I was like, why? Like, ain't nobody in here. We still gonna have a good time though.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, man, we lost, but it was a good game. Like, why is everybody not coming? Nobody wants to talk about this. We played the Chiefs pretty well, but and I know we're still like, the kind of not newer, but like, we ain't been around as long as they're like some other folks have been. So it's like, I was like, damn, man. Like, so I told Mike, I'm like, look, we are never recording the same time as like 6 other people ever again. So I don't care what we had to do. We're going to go on a different time, man.
Yeah.
So, but, anyway, man. Well, Fleek, buddy, we almost here. Oh, Chrissy said, John, I put Falcons content creator on every TV and Echo in the house. And hey, we appreciate that. Trust me, we all appreciate the likes because that's the only way we get out there to more Falcons fans, man. King Reach said, y'all know when y'all do that, we got to flip back and I know it's like it's tough, man. Like because like even like initially, like me and Jack from one time, so we were almost on the same schedule. So like me and Jack got together, we're like, we can't do this because like a lot of we start almost at the same time. So a lot of our like people that watch us watch Jack in one time. So we're like, all right, so let's try to move it around. And we would try to do that for a while. And it's like, but everybody's got different schedules. Their work schedules are different. They got kids and the kids got schedules. And so it's like, we just got to figure it out. It's like sometimes you just have to get it in and, try to do the best you can with it. But but either way, we appreciate all y'all that come through, whether it's during the live or after the video or whatever, man. It doesn't matter, man. We just appreciate it. But anyway, Fleek, anything last few comments before, and you got to give us a score prediction too before we get out of here.
All right, so last thing I want to say is just a reiteration of basically what I said earlier, man. You got to take advantage of the little moments. It's the little moments and culmination that matter at the end of the game. Third downs, red zone, we have to convert those into touchdowns instead of kicking 3 every time down. And we got to win the turnover battle. So as long as we do those 3 things, I think those are the X factors to win. And I do think the Falcons win, especially in light of all these injuries that are popping up. I'll say, since I want to see the Falcons finally break 30, I'll say 30-21.
Love it. Love what you got, buddy.
So I think the beautiful thing, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Fleek, because one thing that we've learned about Coach Robinson is if everybody talks about something all week, he comes back the next week and fixes it. Right? So, we were lining up in pistol all day, or the first week. Then the next week after that, it was like, all right, look, we looking a little bit better, but look, let's try to get some more people involved. Let's get Algier involved a little bit more. Then after that, it was like, hey, we want to get some explosive plays, and every week, it evolves. And I feel like in the short yardage situations, it might continue to evolve. I feel like in those third and shorts, we might be able to get it done. But as far as score prediction, I'm going to go 27-16 Falcons.
Love it. Love it. Jamal said 27-10. That'd be amazing. Chrissy said, I want to blow out 45-3, but I'll settle for 28-7. Hey, I'll take either one of those.
I'll take both.
Any day. I'm with both of you guys. Like, and Fleek, I agree. I want to see an offensive kind of breakout, man. Kind of put it all together. And Lo, like what you just said, man, it's very anti-Arthur Smithish, right? Like, can you imagine? Like Arthur, if you said that at the press conference, he'd be like, "This isn't fantasy football. Like, I don't give it." That's what he would come up with. There'd have been no like, you know what? Yeah, let's change that. Let's check it out. But anyway, so I'm gonna go 34-18. So we put it on him, man.
Love it.
Yeah. And I'm sure Mike, of course, he's going to pick a victory. Again, y'all need to go look at Biscuit's pick. Biscuit did pick the Falcons for the first time this year. So he does not. And Mike, because, last year he picked the Saints and then Mike fired him. He no longer let him pick games after that. So,
no.
You have to go watch it. He posted it today. It's funny as hell. You have to go watch it. It's basically like Biscuits in the 8. No, look, man, Mike, to the video he posted today, it's basically like Mike is it's like an HR meeting, and Mike's kind of like the boss. He's talking to Biscuit about why he got fired last year, and whether or not. The dog just sitting there.
I gotta
The dog
watch.
just sitting there looking at him, dude. It's funny as hell. Like, I don't know how he gets him to do it, but it's funny as hell. But anyway, he does pick the Falcons, and Mike's gonna pick the Falcons to win anyway. So we should be back. We'll be back here on Sunday after the game. I got to get with Mike. He's still gonna be in Nebraska, but I'm pretty sure. I know he's not working Sunday, so he'll be watching the game. Hopefully, he gets everything hooked up from his hotel room. We'll be good. We'll be straight. King Richie said we got to win. We owe them from last year. Yes, we do.
Yep.
55-55. We didn't mention that. 55-55, man.
Yep.
What a crazy record to have in this rivalry.
That's so
It's
wild.
nuts.
We got to go up one again.
Yeah, Timothy said 35-10 Falcons. I'm down. Yeah, man.
Love it.
We just got, no excuses, man. No excuses. You got a team hurt like that coming into our building. I know we got our own problems, but I like Lowe said, we got a better squad, man. We just have a better squad. We got to go out there and prove it. Get 2-2. So anyway, man, guys, I appreciate Fleek. Thank you, buddy, for co-hosting with me today.
Course.
Much appreciated, man.
Course,
Lowe, thank you for coming through, buddy. We gotta
definitely, man. Thank you for the invite. Thank you.
Of course. It was like last minute, but it's like I said, we just with Mike out of town and everything else being kind of crazy in this. Were you good storm wise, by the way? Do you have anything at the house?
Yeah, we just had a few limbs. We had a few limbs knocked
yeah.
down in the yard.
Good.
Back home,
Good.
I got a few rental properties, and man, I got to file some claims. I got trees on houses and all kinds of stuff.
Oh man, down South Georgia.
Yeah.
That was we only got a little bit of wind, a ton of rain. I saw some video from Buckhead. Buckhead got a lot of Buckhead got flooded. Did y'all see that?
Yeah,
Westminster football was completely underwater. Like it's crazy.
Was.
Yeah,
I saw an apartment complex. All the cars are underwater.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, definitely. Well, glad you guys are good. Sucks about those properties though, man. That you have to go through that whole mess. But yeah,
it's tough.
Anyway. Yeah. Well, anyway, man, appreciate it. We'll have to get you back on when Mike's back and then, in studio and whatnot and have a good time. But so we'll catch y'all Sunday after we win. Again, man, y'all can follow us on X at Out of Your Effing Mind, on TikTok or Instagram, Out of Your Falcon Mind. Fleek, tell everybody where they can find you, buddy.
Y'all can follow me at Ron Rico Season on X or Twitter, whatever you call it these days. I do. On Tuesdays, we're trying to do every Tuesday. Sometimes we don't do on Tuesdays, but the New Millennium Falcons podcast. I haven't been on the last few episodes because I've been doing a lot lately, but I will be going back on that soon. But Trey and so y'all know Trayshawn, Savion, Hunter, and all the guys over there, Adam, Kenny, they hold it down over there, man. So make sure y'all check us out. Should be every Tuesday night going forward.
Yep, make sure y'all do it, and we won't be recording the same time, so don't worry about that. And Lowe, tell folks where they can find you, and make sure, like, if y'all have Twitter, then go follow Lowe. And hey, did you post a video on YouTube as well? It's on YouTube, right?
Yeah. I posted it on there yesterday.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'll make sure because I saw that. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So make sure y'all go watch the damn diss track because it's hilarious. Lowe, tell folks where they can find you, buddy.
For everybody out there to know me. My name is Big Low Country, old country boy, former football coach. I love to talk about sports. And look, man, we just
Low broke up a little bit there, but Big Low Country, and you know where to find him, man. He's gonna be.
I'm sorry.
You good? They're good now. Yeah. You just went through like a little spot there, but you're good now. So, but anyway, guys, we appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, we'll get this W on Sunday. Yep. Get back and hopefully, like I said, the Eagles take care of the Bucks, and then we want to worry about that as well. But we appreciate you guys coming through on a Friday afternoon. Y'all enjoy the weekend. We got a lot of good college football coming up as well, and we will see y'all Sunday after the game. And I think that's it. Yeah, y'all gotta have a wonderful weekend. Much love, man. Peace.
Peace.
Wow, this outro does not want to play.